And there's song number one on today's MSI. It goes by so quickly when you're not paying attention. Let's go to Ian and find out what he thought. Ian, what do you think of track number one?
I mean, this should be the sort of song that grabs me and I want to listen to. It's sort of kind of genre I love, the sort of big heavy guitars and that. But I found the mix on this all over the place. It was very dry to start with. I found the mix. The guitars were very brittle. In fact, the whole mix was very toppy. And it was dominated, unusually, for a song on MSI, by the drums and the vocals. And to be honest, I'm not sure if I like the vocal or not. It sort of started off well, but then didn't go anywhere and was just the same all the way through, very monotonous. There were some great performances on this. I mean, the people who recorded the drums and the guitar solos especially, I thought they were very, very good. The solo was too low in the mix. The drums are too loud in the mix, but the performances in general were pretty good. Overall, the song didn't really do much for me, to be honest. It was very meh. It's a rocking tune, but it didn't really go anywhere, do anything, or grab me. Didn't find the lyrics that engaging, didn't find the voice that engaging. And I think from that point of view, it does need a lot of work. Yeah, I mean, good performances, good enough groove, holds the attention, but mix all over the place. It sounded, with the mix, and Tom will probably correct me on this if I'm wrong, but it sounded like they'd scooped sounded like they'd scooped all the mids out. It was all sort of top end and bottom end, and no mids in the guitars or the vocals, and everything was a bit thin. And there was a vocal effect that came in about 2:30, sort of, where it went stereo and sort of panned throughout the mix as he held the note. Frightened, I think the lyric was. And that was really harsh on my ears. It sort of, again, swept out the whole mix, and there was some unpleasant frequencies in that vocal. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Now, answer the Now Nows thing. He says the tone of the lead guitar sounded exactly like our MSI theme.
I disagree. I think the tone on the lead guitar on the MSI theme is a lot richer and warmer, and I think, I can see maybe the sound that they were going for is very similar, but I feel that it's very thin, the sound on this recording.
All right. Well, there you have it. Thank you, Ian. Let's go to Tom, find out what he thought on track one. Tom, what do you think?
I agree a lot with what Ian said. The vocal sound, I wasn't pleased with. That stereo panning left, right gets to be distracting. The drums and the vocals were at a good level. With the mids scooped out or too many multiple effects on the guitars, it sounds too distant, too far away, too thin, too tiny, too little. And it was playing a lot of great riffs. And it was, you could hear it, but, it would be like standing in a room and then having the guitarist, 100 feet away, where you could hear him, but you could barely see him, and it made for a very unbalancing feel. That scoop feeling, a lot of compression on everything. The track should and will come together better when the guitars are brought forward. I think that the vocals and the drums are at a good level. Seriously, it's just that the guitars are just too distant, and they need to be brought up front. And the vocal sound, I would much more like an in-your-face mono type of vocal. That doesn't really dominate the mix, so that when it was like a war of words and stuff between the drum riffs and the vocal riffs. They got to figure out who's going to be busy and where. And I think the drummer did a great job of playing. He may have overplayed a little bit, especially with that double kick. But it sounds like it was trying to be a rocker, and it just missed the mark because of the mix. And as Ian said, the vocal performance was good, but it was monotonous and very monotonish.
All right. I appreciate that, Tom. Thank you very much. Let's now talk to our Artist of the Year 2011, Neil Porter. Neil, what do you think of track one?
This is similar to something I've just been mixing for in some way. The thing that struck me, and I agree with what Ian and Tommy both said, the thing that struck me with this is that it's not a round sound. It's a really harsh. There's lots missing in the sound, and I'm just wondering what it would sound like with some a different approach to the mix. There was something about the drums that bugged me, and I was focusing more on the drums than anything else during this, because I was trying to figure out whether it was a loop or a number of loops spliced together, or whether it was real drums. At times during the verse, there was a repetitive sort of triplet on the hi-hat that you knew was coming around every verse, and it got really depressing. Then at some of the fills at the end, there were what sounded like a stumbling sort of live player, and so I was concentrating on that. I reckon the drums could have lifted this if they were played more I don't know, live. I think I won't put money on them being loops, but I think they probably were. It would have been nice to feel the drums flow, and I think that would have lifted everything else. I also think agree with everybody about the guitar should have been much bigger in the mix, and I always listen for the bass as well, obviously. And I don't know, there was again the bass sounded weak, and for this style of music, I thought the bass sounded, it should have been much beefier. A nice big strat, precision sound would have. Would have lifted this, but yeah, it's nice song. Vocals, not my favourite sort of style of vocals, but well done in the genre. I honestly don't. If I'd have been mixing this, I would have certainly tried to get it sounding a lot fuller than what's happened here. But yeah, it's fine. It'd be interesting to hear some of their other stuff.
All right. I appreciate that, Neil. Thank you very much. And let me introduce that track to everybody. That track is called Strange Life. Strange Life by a group called RizRocks. RizRocks with Strange Life. We appreciate them sending that in to MSI. And again, want to remind you, if you have a song you want reviewed by our panel, all you have to do is go to MusicSceneInvestigation.com and click on that Submit a Song button. Very easy to do. Now, gentlemen, as we do every week, I'm going to throw you guys together in a ring. You can fight it out, talk it out, however you want to do it, but you have to select a song of the week. So I leave it to you to do just that.
Well, I'm going to throw something out there straight away before I even make a decision. I mean, remember, guys, we are voting on Song of the Week. And as much as 3 is probably the best mixed and produced, is it really a song? Yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling between 3 and 1.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, basically.
1 is despite its suffering from its mixed laxatives, it's essentially a well-structured and put-together song, finished.
And some good performances as well.
Yeah. That stuff was primarily from its mix. The second one was just a little too amateurish for this bunch. Didn't quite make the cutoff. And the third one I liked because it set a mood, but it's not finished. Like I said, it's well started, not well done. So despite its lack of frequencies, I'm going to have to go with number 1.
I think if you're looking at if we're supposed to decide on a song, to me the only song is number 1. I thought number 2 certainly isn't in the race. Sound-wise, if we were after production, I don't think there's any question that it's number 3. I'm probably still going to go with number 3 just because I thought there was too much wrong with the production on number 1. I thought number 3 really, if whoever's done number 3 could get together with maybe a real singer to come in and do some interesting things with it, I think it's a great step in the right direction. But I'll go with number 3 just mainly because I can't go with number 1.
All right, Ian.
See that? Yeah. I'm kind of out where the other guys are, and I'm unsure on this one. Number 3 was certainly the better production, certainly the better mix. Technically, the best song of the night, but I'm struggling as if it's a complete song, if it's got enough structure and if it's got enough arrangement and dynamics to sort of really keep attention for that long. Whereas the first one, the performances are great. I'm gonna. Sorry, Neil. I'm gonna go with Tom.
That's okay.
Number 1.
All right, well, there you have it. Appreciate you guys fighting it out there, but it looks like number 1 takes the day. Track number 1, RizRocks, Strange Life, is our song of the week on this week's MSI. Neil, we appreciate you being on with us, man. It's always good to have a great musician, artist of the year on with us, so we appreciate that. Sorry for getting you up so early, though.
Yeah, I can go and have breakfast now. It's really good.
Well, like I say,
will be just about getting up.
Yeah, like I say, we didn't mean to get you up quite so early. Maybe next time
you could move.
Yeah, exactly. You can move, and you'll have to get up early then.
Well, it was interesting because last time I was on, it was 8 o'clock here and we've gone off daylight saving, and you've gone onto it, so it shoved it back 2 hours. So
right.
So that's the problem. Anyway, no, it's good. It's okay. I can get up early sometime.
There you have it. Well, we appreciate it, and hope to have you on again sometime real soon.
Yeah.
I hope you submit some more music as well. We'd love to hear.
Well, I've got a band track that I'd really like to put up that we've recorded with the band, so I might do that. But I won't tell you.
Yeah,
I won't tell you which one it is, though.
Okay. All right. It'll be a surprise. Ian, Tom, thank you as always. Appreciate you guys hanging out as well. And
not a problem. I want to say, and the Now is saying in the chat, he said, "Great show, dudes. I've learnt not to make my hi-hats depressing. Every show is an education."
Well, that's a good point. Good point to take home if you take nothing else home. We appreciate everybody out there coming and joining us as well. We'll be doing this again next week and every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and definitely hope you join us as well. Ian.
Who's next week, Rich?
I'm just going to ask you that.
It's Mr. Bill Evans of the Live to Play Network.
That's exactly correct. I'm glad you remembered.
There you go, you see. There you go, BHG. Bill Evans of the Live to Play Network will be on the show with us.
All right, well, we look forward to having Bill Evans on. Again, thanks to Neil Porter. Thanks to you for joining us. Happy Mother's Day, and we'll see you all again next time right here on Music Scene Investigation.
Fathers work hard too, you know.